Alright, so I've seen it. Fun fact, yesterday I saw a scary movie. Not really into that franchise, but it was something to watch. I have A-list, so why not? And all you had to do was be better than that. And I mean, like, it is. Supergirl is better than Scary Movie. I wish there was a higher bar, though. This one I've been looking forward to. Why have I been looking forward to it? Because comic books passed me by a little while ago, comic book movies, as they started getting into, lesser known characters and things like that. And as I've told you before, just don't really have the pockets to keep up with comics and all that and blah, blah, blah. But Woman of Tomorrow was a comic I actually had a chance to read. And I read it in advance of this movie. And I really liked Woman of Tomorrow, the comic. And so I'm going to try to tell you why this movie is alright. I'm going to tell you why I feel like it falls short in a few ways. Some in relation to the comic, and some just in relation to the movie. Supergirl teams up with this girl named Ruthie. Ruthie has been wronged by the villain of this movie, and Ruthie needs to recruit somebody to help her. Supergirl doesn't really want to do it, but then Supergirl finds herself dragged along in this journey because her dog gets poisoned by that very same villain. So now she's invested in whatever, and we're on our revenge quest, our John Wick light, our whatever. And as that kind of movie, it's all right. What are good parts about it? I think Millie Alcock, is that her name? Millie? We're just gonna call her Millie. I think Millie plays Kara well. I do have a problem with a little bit of her character development. I feel like it doesn't go to the places that it could go. I'm not going to necessarily say should go, but maybe could go. I feel like Millie doesn't, or Kara doesn't evolve quite enough. Ruthie, this is a bummer. Apart from Ruthie's characterization, the main problem with Ruthie is that she's kind of useless. She doesn't really affect the plot that much. Emotionally why she wants what she wants, but practically, as you're watching the movie, it's like you should have just paid somebody to go do this and await word, because you should not be here. You ever play like an RPG and you stumble into an area that's like 40 levels above where you are, and you find out the hard way you're in the wrong place? That's kind of how Ruthie felt in this movie. Krim is a nothing burger. What I think this movie could have benefited from? Lobo's in it. If they would have taken Lobo and just made Lobo Krim's character, because of what Lobo does and why he does it, it's really easy to slot Lobo into Krim's position in this movie. Now I get the people who don't see Lobo as a villain. I understand that. Listen, if I can pay you to kill somebody, you're a villain as far as I'm concerned. And so all you gotta do is put a bounty on the person's head, and we're off to the races. But other than that, Lobo's in here so he can be in a trailer, so you'll pay to see the movie. What are some of the good things about it? Millie plays Kara well. I think I said that. Even without the evolution I would have liked to see, for the character that she's playing, it works. I know you've heard a lot of negative press about Millie. Like, whatever an actress or actor does in interviews that you may or may not like, for whatever reason you may or may not like them, has nothing to do with the performance. Okay, like nothing at all. I'm hearing weird criticism like Millie's ugly. All right, I mean I don't agree, but like if you don't find her attractive, I still, that's not an argument. That has nothing to do with the movie. So it's weird the things that people have attached to this movie. But Millie plays Kara well, and Ruthie is fine, and Krim is fine in terms of playing the character. It's just boring. The action is good when it's going down. We struggle with a little bit of what I feel like the casual person feels is wrong with Superman or Superman adjacent movies, is how do you make such a superpowered character get challenged? And for people who know that Superman and Supergirl have a rogues gallery that actually challenges them physically, without having to nerf them, we know there are plenty of avenues that don't require robbing them of their powers And this movie doesn't seem like, I don't know if James Gunn is not familiar with Supergirl lore, and not that I'm any kind of expert or whatever, but I can think of at least like 3 guys that you can throw into a Superman or Supergirl movie and immediately be able to have her in a rough spot, kryptonite or no kryptonite. You know, why can't Mongol ever get any love? You know, but the action was cool when it was going down. When Supergirl is being Supergirl, it's cool. And so, like, for most of the movie, I'm just gonna say it was okay. The motivations were good enough. The interactions between the characters were good enough. Kara started to get into that strange balance, or that delicate balance between the fact that she carries all this pain and somehow remains optimistic. In fact, we had a real opportunity for for a juxtaposition between her and Clark. Like, Clark wants her to embrace Earth because she's always off in other worlds getting drunk and everything like that. And she's like, why don't you just embrace this home? And we had an opportunity to really get into the fact that Clark has no memories of Krypton. Kara does. So when Kara can't adjust to Earth, or struggles to adjust to Earth, Clark is viewing that from the perspective of somebody who never had to adjust to Earth. And then you could take it even deeper than that. Some of the ways that she copes on Earth are through, like, Earth music and things like that. Like, she has an iPod. So even something that small, it's like you see some kind of value here. You know, there's something that Earth offers that you at least find reliably entertaining, if not more profound than that. But that kind of characterization, that kind of nuance, that's something you would have gotten in the comic books that you really don't get in this movie. And it's frustrating because that's when I was the most engaged. There's one line in the movie that hit me right here. And it's when Ruthie says to Kara, she says, "You're not always nice, but you're kind. You're not always perfect, but you're good." And I'm like, that's such an ideal bar to strive for. Like, as a Christian, I hear something like that and I'm like, yes, if we could just embrace that. I'm not hearing like stellar reviews, and I don't think the movie is stellar, so I wouldn't expect to hear stellar reviews. But some of the things I'm hearing people like complain about, like, they say things like, oh, the Supergirl is a girl boss. And listen, I try to take a little more of a nuanced view on arguments like that. I get that when you have some human girl who doesn't have any particularly special training or whatever, is super small, and you have her doing feats that just seem completely unrealistic, sometimes I can pull you out the movie. Supergirl is a Kryptonian, bro. She's not human. Like, she has power. Is it possible for a Kryptonian to be a girl boss? Like, is that even possible? What's frustrating is that when you watch a movie like this, you can arrive at disliking it honestly, without commenting on what the girl looks like, without commenting on what she said in an interview, without commenting about the queer identity or whatever nonsense they were talking about why they've been dragging this movie through the mud for months. That's probably the worst thing about having to say that the movie is okay, because it's gonna make a bunch of undeserving individuals feel like they're validated in their unfair hatred that they have been committed to not liking from the beginning. Now, it's going to be a movie that's alright, but it's going to be presented as like the worst thing ever made, and that's garbage, bro. So I would listen, if you have the time, go watch it. If you got daughters, take them, like, let them have their icon, you know? Let them have their woman superhero. I remember back when Captain Marvel came out, I was a lot younger. Captain Marvel came out, and I got caught up in all that press stuff and Brie Larson and Tom Cruise comment and her own stunts and I'm worthy, I'm strongest Avenger, all that stuff. And to be fair, I didn't think Captain Marvel was a very good movie anyway, but I went into it with all that stuff in my head, and I judged the movie a little more harshly than I should have. So I understand being in that sphere, but it's time to grow out of that kind of stuff, bro. And I think Supergirl is better than Captain Marvel, by the way. But I'm also older, and I have more of an appreciation for the work itself rather than getting caught up in all the stupid political talking points. So yeah, I wish it was better. It's all right, bro. What you think about Supergirl? Let me know. What do you think about the whole conversation surrounding Supergirl? Please comment. I know you guys comment. I've answered quite a few of you on other videos, so I know you guys listen, and I appreciate that. Thank you. But I really actually want to talk about this movie specifically. So if you wouldn't mind, liking and throwing a comment, starting a conversation, let's chop it up. All right, cool. James Gunn got one more time to put me through the whole crypto is an annoying, troublesome dog trope. Like one more time, and I'm going to throw something at somebody. I ain't gonna say he's a hack, but like, he's definitely a one-trick pony.